You tune into the Bliss-More Radio. And it's my city, why? You're obviously Jamaican brother there, reaching out to all the masses on the African continent. And you're into the African show with your host, not out of that, Joey, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. It's gonna be alright. Be alright. It's gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. Many late nights with these all alone. She always call me up on the phone to come and spend the night, because you wanna be there. It's just all the friends that I treated right to day. It's just a
Yes, good afternoon and good morning, family, from wherever you're listening to me from. And of course, karibuni sana to another beautiful session of the Pan-African Bliss Show. I go by the name Joby, and I hope you guys are doing amazing on this amazing, wonderful afternoon of Tuesday. It is exactly 9 minutes to 1 p.m. right here in the 2.4. I don't know the time on your end to everyone who's right now at work and, of course, getting ready to work, or rather, just tuned in on the Blackwood Financial Radio Station. I appreciate you for not missing out the shows. And of course, welcome to today's conversation. Big up to everyone with us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Rumble, live on the radio station. Live, kindly remember, if you are on the radio station, you can pin your comments via the show page. I'm right there. And also, we're live on the show page itself, where you can pin the comments either from the radio station or either from the show page live streaming itself. Karibuni sana. It is your choice, and I hope you get to enjoy the conversation of the day. Shout out to Dark, to such friends like you. Nakucheki, man, just friends like you. Karibu sana, hope you're doing amazing. Nice to see you today on today's conversation. Shout out to you. Unasema Mr. hizo salamu zenye zinakaa hivyo tafadhali. We only do that on Sundays, okay? Hizo ni za Sunday peke yake. Hizo zingine, I don't know what you're talking about. But shout out to Datu, shout out to Full Buddha in the building. Shout out to Clemo Official in the building, and to everyone who's tuning in also on the YouTube page. I see Kay Williams is saying, "What's up, Job?" It is exactly 4:50 a.m. on his hand, and of course, I am happy. Literally, I said yesterday, or rather this year since it's begun. Okay, I said yesterday it's begun with a very amazing jam. With the people, okay, and I say it should be a year of just winning and nothing but just winning, and no excuses of you getting to the top and where you literally want to be. No excuses. And of course, I really feel blessed. I'm really, really grateful for having such amazing audience as you. It is such a blessing to me. But I see you're also saying getting ready for work. Do you want some coffee? Lol. No, excuse me, I don't take coffee anymore. You know, I was an addict. That was in 2021 and 2022. But of course, my health conditions got super crazy, so I couldn't continue taking coffee, and I can't even stand coffee anymore. Not even the smell itself anymore. I used to love smelling coffee. It was like an habit of me just opening coffee cans and I go smelling them, especially the Ethiopian coffee. Ugh. It's something else, you know. But anyway, Karibuni sana, that is what we're talking about today here. We shall be talking about Niger, where we have more than 20 people. And I see my YouTube messed up my word. It's supposed to be more than 20 people who have been killed in Niger. And of course, personally, I feel like this is after the withdrawal of Ecowas, which happened yesterday. We've seen these three West African nations being under attack, especially since they attained independence, which is called a coup d'etat. Yes, we've seen in Burkina Faso so many attacks happening. We've seen in Niger the same thing is still happening, because we understand the juntas and the leaders who have taken control of the countries right now have still not been able to deal with the situation of the jihadists or the terror attacks that are in different regions. So far, we've had different, I think Niger and Mali, and I think also Burkina Faso, they've been able to recover a few regions, but it's going to take time. But I'm glad to see, through the help of Russia on creating strong military groups, and also them funding real weapons to fight these jihadists, is literally coming into an attainment. So we shall be talking about that. We shall also be talking about what is happening. I'll be reading an article about the broken system of Kenya, especially when it comes to the public services and the horrors that are in it. I also want to talk about share a video, because yesterday we did talk about Italy Africa Summit, and it's crazy to see already our own president, but I'm not surprised. He came again and said, you know, he doesn't want, I think it's a video referring back to when we had the Europe Africa Summit. He did say that he doesn't want to attend any more of these summits. It's a high time where we have the African chiefs and the captains to take over and go represent the 54 African leaders when it comes to this summit. It should not take 54 leaders of the continent to go attend these meetings, of which for now, we need to remove 3 African leaders. Those are the leaders. The rest, we know, they are puppets. There's nothing they're doing but just following orders from the foreign powers. So we shall be discussing about that. I'm very, very excited to talk about, especially that particular segment over there. And of course, looking at our very broken system and what is happening in Niger. So karibuni sana. And of course, I hope you guys take till the end of the show, and much more that shall be coming up, and much more sad news, because we see the cases of femicide is still happening right here in the 254, despite the demonstrations that were held on Saturday. Yesterday, I don't know how many of you saw of a 20-year-old girl who was found raped, killed, and her private parts missing. It is such a tragic story to report, even, especially I being a woman. But like I said yesterday, I don't want this being a gender-based violence, because I believe it is literally everyone who is facing attack from left, right, and center. So we shall be discussing about that, but I began with an amazing jam that was by Wayne Wonder, a friend like me, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Names song, the next song I'll be playing is by Motagatta, Love Ballad, one of my favorites. And being on a Tuesday, it's an easy Tuesday for me, and I hope you are feeling easy as well. And as you get to enjoy your day, karibu sana once again. Shout out to DJ Master Daddy K. Karibu sana. Thank you so much for tapping the screen. This is not a musical show. Kindly come back tonight from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. We have the culture show done by myself and Kamlesh, the baddest and the best in the business. And of course, see what we are all about. Also, you can join or choose to tune in every morning on the Vibe Show. You also stand a chance to win merchandise and a whole lot more. So this is not a musical show, but a talk show. Bakari Busara, nice to see you. Thank you for tapping the screen. Can you continue? You think of me the way I think of you. Tell me you want me, cause I promise I want you to. Yes, my quote of the day is embrace the power of the day. For every day is a fresh start to chase your goals and make your dreams come true. That is my quote of the day. And of course, never stop believing in yourself. Never tell yourself you're not good enough. And keep on believing in the power you have, because you've been given power and we literally underestimate and undermine ourselves. And it's a high time we start embracing all that. But shout out to 10 Speed in the building. Karibu sana. K. Williams, I see you saying that I know you don't drink coffee, just messing up with you. Of course, I'm glad you kept the tabs. And also see 10 Speed in the building. Karibu sana once again. You're saying, where's brother Keith? I can't find him. Keith, that's on TikTok. And of course, Karibu sana Keith, I see you on TikTok page. 10 Speed is asking for you. I don't know what's up, what you guys were debating on, but yes, Keith is with us on the TikTok page. Karibuni sana once again. Like I said, I want to start with what is happening in the 254, and this is a speech made by our very dear president and what he had to say. And this is actually some remarks he made, I think 9 months ago, if I'm not wrong. Yes, 9 months ago when he attended the Europe Africa Summit. Whatever this meeting was, I can't remember specifically on that, but it is always a meeting where we see the African selected leaders attending, but there's never a thing that makes a change in the African continent. I read a very amazing article yesterday on the Africa Today show, which we saw them mentioning some of the different African countries that are rich and are developing. But if you look at the countries mentioned and how they are operating, especially in terms of mineral resources, which is also a question posed by BBC actually about, is it good to actually inform the rest of the world when we find resources? Because perfect example right now, the biggest topic on the table is Kenya. Mind you, we had resources coltan that was discovered in 6 different counties, and I just discovered the counties are, we have Kitui, we have I can't remember the whole thing, but they have given us the number and the names of the counties that have been, where coltan has been discovered. And of course, the Minister of Trade and Resources is the Minister of Trade is digging deeper to see how the resources are going to be helping the country. But we know that there's nothing that this is going to help, especially Kenya itself, not even the rest of the neighboring countries. But like I'm saying, we have right now the Italy Africa Summit, which we saw Giorgia Meloni 2 weeks ago, actually a week ago, she came out and spoke of, 2 weeks ago, she came out and spoke of how Africa should stop receiving charity and start cooperating and receiving equality, especially when it comes to matters of trading or us, working together, which I highly agree. But again, we need to understand, just because a cat is wearing a different dress, it doesn't mean it's not a cat. It's the same thing, Just like a cat, just because a cat today is wearing a trouser, it doesn't mean it's not a cat. It is the same cat in a different closet or a different, wardrobe and all that. So that is Giorgia Meloni for me. As much as we've seen a lot of positivity, she's spoken and defending Africa and the children that are being used to extract mineral resources from different parts of Africa. She's also now working together with the African puppets to do the same. Because like I said yesterday, when you look at the Italy-Africa summit before I shared the video, what they're breaking down, we need to discuss is education, economic development, cultural development, infrastructural development, and all that. All of these things are things we're talking about 60, 50 years of independence that should have been done long time ago. We should not be debating. We should be finding a way of how we can improve those areas, not trying to find a way how we can start finding solution within those particular segments and all that. So this is just super, super crazy. But let me share this. This is what our Kenyans right now are reacting to, because 9 months ago, we saw our President William Ruto telling us he shall not, and it is very inappropriate to have 54 African leaders from one continent attending a meeting that has been called by one person. Because it's always Macron, it's always Anthony Guterres, it's always Clinton or someone, Joe Biden, who's just trying to make a message across Africa. But how does this serve the African people? That is the question. And I'm glad to see Kenyans are questioning about this. And of course, referring back to the video that we had our president 9 months ago saying, we do not, and I shall not attend any more of these meetings. I am respectful for us being called as a continent to just attend one meeting, one summit. Every time we have to take flights, spending money, but there's nothing that is changing. He said that, but it's crazy to see today, as Kenyans refer back to this video, our dear own president is in Italy today, listening to the foreign powers. So let's take a look at this. Let me share this very quickly.
The decision that we have made as AU is that going forward,
AU. So I don't understand the formation of the AU, because personally, I'm glad that I'm able to pen down and take note of so many things that mainstream medias do leave out. When you come out and say, we as the AU, because I got that correctly, we as the AU, the formation of the African Union, let's start there. Who formed this African Union? Who formed the African Union? Did we have Ruto? Did we have Jomo Kenyatta? Did we have Julius Nyerere? And I'm not talking about the current leaders. Let's start with the first presidents of those who actually attained this term called independence that is so fake in Africa. All the African first representatives, leaders, were they part of literally forming the African Union? Or did we have the white people forming the African Union for us? And which we know, because of the formation of it, according to the laws, it's not supposed to serve and protect Africans. Because when you talk about the African Union, there's a lot to be debated on. There's a lot to be tackled on bit by bit. The formation of it, the people who created the structure, the law, who follows the law, who is in favor of the law, and how Africa benefits from this. Because like I said this some months ago, and I repeat it again and again, we need to understand all these organizations form like the African Union, or all this bullshit they keep on coming with, especially the Italy-Africa summit. They always want to include an African name somewhere so that they can keep you manipulated mentally, thinking this is an African motion, while it's not. Africa Union. This is not an Africa thing. No, this is not an African motion, because it doesn't help none of us. Kenya, because if it was meant to help, we should see DRC Congo right now being helped. We should see Kagame facing serious and critical charges together, hand in hand with Museveni. We should see all these presidents who are appointing their daughters, their wives, their sons as MPs, as prime ministers, facing charges. All these stolen funds and the loans that we're taking, we should see the African Union calling out on all the corrupt system and the leaders, but they won't do so. So the question is to all the audience listening, who formed the African Union? Help me figure that out, because maybe majority of us don't know, but this is what Kenya had to say.
if there is going to be a discussion between any other country, we are going to be represented outgoing chair, the income, the bureau. Let
chair of the commission or the chair
and the chair of the recs, and we have 5 recs. That should be sufficient.
Okay.
For a meeting of maybe 6, 7,
Yeah.
That should be able to represent Africa. And that is the position I am taking as the president of Kenya. For any other meeting.
That was 9 months ago. Take a note very clearly. That this is 9 months ago. This is not the Italy Africa Summit that is happening today in Rome, which we don't know how many African leaders are attending or attended, but we can see from just this, because Kenyans are questioning. Our very dear own President William Ruto is already there. After 9 months saying, I, as the president of Kenya, I no longer want to attend this summit that include Africa, while we have a representative, a body that should represent the continent of Africa. That is true, and that is a very true fact, because the African Union should be able, whether the chairperson, the CEO, whoever is in charge of the front seats, they should be the representatives of how they want Africa to operate, because it's an African Union. But it's not. It isn't. Because if the African Union really meant unity, we should not be talking about borders right now. That is the first thing they should have broken. We should have enabled us, instead of sitting on these summits, discussing how we can improve our economy, think of how we can come up with our own currency. Think about how we can come up with our own strategy of dealing and developing our countries. That is the first thing the African Union, if it was a system and organization meant to work, they should have done. But there's nothing that happened. It's been the same thing. And this is why you see it is a joke. And I know the rest of the media and the rest of the world took this as a joke when we had Ruto saying, this is the last time I'm going to attend this meeting. Because they knew this was nonsense. They knew this guy has no power. They know this man is just making a bluff for his own people to think he's a Pan-Africanist. Because 9 months ago, this when we had Ruto on TikTok being called the president of Africa. The president of Africa, because he was with that Pan-Africanist motion and movement at some point on these summits, trying to make us believe he's literally understanding and willing to change some things. But nothing has changed. So it is super crazy. But I say, Keith, you have a lot of comments on TikTok. Good morning, and of course, Karibu Sana once again. You're saying that they just say stuff. They just say stuff, Joby, it's all nonsense. That is true, because no education system is meant to be changed. Because if you change the African mentality or the education, you're trying to educate your people how to escape poverty. You're trying to educate your people how politics works. You're trying to educate your people how finances are supposed to be. Financial handling or business management and all that. You're trying to literally empower your people. And that is what the white people have ensured. Like Keith always keep on saying, you can't teach, or your master cannot teach you how to outshine them. That is just so clear. But I also see you saying that no, Joby, it was a different organization. The African Union is only 20 years old. Oh, okay. It's only 20 years old. Okay, let me look at that. It was a different organization. The African Union is only 20 years. Okay, let me see. Who formed the African Union? Yeah, I remember that they changed it to it was another organization. Yeah, let me read that. They're saying on May 25th, 1963, Addis Ababa, that is Ethiopia, the 32 African states that had achieved independence at the time agreed to establish the Organization of African Unity. It was called the OAU. A further 21 members joined, reaching a total of 53 by the time of the AU's creation. That was in 2002. And I think later on, I think it was around maybe 2010, they changed it. Either 2010 or something, 2005, I can remember there. I think I read that article somewhere. That is when they changed it to the AU. But let me read this. Yeah, 2002. That is when they changed it to the AU. But yeah, that is what is happening. So we had 32 African states that had achieved independence at that time. But what independence? Underline the term independence again. At that time, is when we just had the Europeans, all our colonizers leaving the continent. But they didn't fully leave because, mind you, they had captured some lands, they had some territories they were controlling. So there was no independence that we still attained. And even the formation of this, as much as it was Ethiopia, the center of coming up with all this, still, I don't believe we have any voice, or even Ethiopia today has any voice. Because if it did have a voice, we should not be seeing what is happening between Ethiopia, Tigray, and Djibouti right now. That is my thought on it. But you can let me know further. And I also see you saying because he knows it's disrespectful, but he knows he can say it and do the opposite. That is true. And you're saying exactly 100% Joby, it's a bluff. And I also see you saying that they never left Joby. They never. And of course, they're never willing to leave. This is why we see them here every single time. Shout out to Katali. Karibu sana. Nice to see you on today's conversation. Hope you're doing amazing. But this is crazy. And I'm glad to see that Kenyans are calling out this man for him bluffing. And I'm glad to see Africans at the same time connecting the dots, because when I was going through the comments of this particular post, we had one of the women, our ladies, who said, kama anadanganya president mwingine, sisi je, matrip nazo anapenda sana. What he meant is that if literally Ruto can lie to his fellow workers, the same leaders, I mean, what do we expect as a citizen to receive? He's going to keep on saying the same thing over and over again. And I also see another one says, I came to notice this guy lies, can lie for Africa. He can, for real, he can lie for Africa. And someone else also said he became a president lying to do, he became a president lying to do you, he became a president by lying. What do you expect? It runs in his DNA. Okay. And also someone on the last but not least of the comments says that the hatred I have for this guy is so much. And just for context, the AU chairman was in the line behind him. Imagine. Yeah, because on this video, we can see the AU chairman just on the line behind him. And, you know, he has the nerve to talk about this. It is super, super crazy and so disrespectful. But again, I hope, because I had earlier today Katie saying that there's something to say which kind of disgusted me, especially understanding we are the Black Coat Fire and we're trying to advocate for a change. It is so bad and kind of discouraging when you're telling people this is how the system is and there's nothing that is ever going to change. We're literally trying to advocate for a change. We're trying to advocate and saying we should push for a revolution. The moment you come here and tell people you're reporting that, oh, this and this and this and this, that's not the way we're trying to work. It is not the way we're trying to literally operate. It's super, super insane. And I believe personally, and what I can see from the young people, as much as all we can talk for now is on the internet, I'm glad to see we're recognizing what these puppets are doing. That is super, super, super amazing. But I say, Bilish, karibu sana, you're saying that anasema ata tushtaki kwa Mungu. Manze, let me tell you, this guy is so disrespectful. Ruto is very, I've never seen a president so disrespectful. Like, sijawa yona, being honest. Sijawa, I've never. I mean, I've seen Museveni. Museveni, you know, if you talk about a dictator, when in Trashazoya, kongelesha watu venye anataka, that is the thing. He's used to talking to people anyhow. And nobody takes Museveni serious, including myself. I love him, but he's just a joker. He's a very big joker. But the level of disrespect that literally and understanding, we are the ones who have employed these people. And I think which most of us Africans don't have any clue of. We give these people a job. We gave them a job. We might not be the ones who selected them, but we were part of the elections. As much as elections are rigged, we are part of believing in you to make a change in the system. It's crazy because I think majority of us had a very high belief that Ruto is going to make a change. And I think I'm one of them. I kind of thought, despite us hearing a lot of stories, him being a deputy, when you're still a deputy, when you're still being groomed by Moi, I believed this guy was going to become someone great and change the African continent. But where? It is super super crazy. It is super insane. But that is what is happening in the 254. And of course, we'll still keep you updated on what is happening with the Italy Africa Summit. I'm not sure how many leaders at this, but so far we have it that President William Ruto is among the African leaders who attended this meeting despite 9 months ago saying he shall no longer, him as a president of Kenya, attend these meetings because they don't make sense. Us having 54 leaders in one summit. It is crazy. You go think about that. But anyway, moving on, I also want to talk about, like I said, I want to read an article which explains very well again of what our dear own president has not been able to change. And one of them, I don't know how many of you have faced this, especially when you go to and right now the taxes being imposed on every sector and every angle, like the IDs. Sai unajua ukipoteza ID, you can see them introducing the chipping of the ID. I don't know if they're trying to do the brain chip, because we know children are supposed to be brain chipped. For us adults, I know and kind of sort of believe the way I got it, if we lose our IDs, our ID shall have a chip in it. And this just means monitoring of your movement and literally your life being taken control over completely. But if you go to these public services like Huduma Center, you'll always find people being delayed, or even right now, there's bribing you need to be, because that is what basically it is. Well, it's crazy how we're moving from just paying $1 replacement of ID to $20. That is a very big hike, 200% of the increase on taxation on that. But this is what one of the articles and one of the media which discovered this, and that they were breaking it down. They say that every morning thousands of Kenyans troop to government offices in search of services, and every afternoon they go back to their homes rejected, dejected, frustrated, and angry. Seeking government services should be in a proper functioning system, be a smooth and signified affair where public servants actually serve the public. But if you go to these places, is where again, like our very dear own president, how disrespectful is peaks. You get such kind of treatment again. Let me tell you, these people talk shit. When I'm saying shit, I mean shit the way it's coming out. And pardon my French. These people talk shit. Yeah? They talk shit. They talk a lot of nonsense. You'll go there, trust me, very happy. Let me say, maybe you just finished high school. You want to get your ID. Of course, you're excited to becoming a citizen of Kenya. But you get on the public services, the servers are talking. It's like they're all in their periods. And sorry to say that. All gloomy and moody. You know, it is super crazy. But yes, they're saying that seeking government services should be in a proper functioning system, be in a smooth and dignified affair, which is true, where public servants actually serve to the public. But a 7-month nation investigation has revealed a rot in the people-facing sectors, what people are facing in the public sector of the services, and the humiliation and dishonor with which Kenyans are treated every day, and the systematic decay that threatens to grind government services to a halt. In the first of a series of investigation, the stories of coming from the Nation today is publishing the express of ordinary Kenyans caught in the thickening grip of spiteful, mean, and outrightly corrupt government machinery. And our teams of reporters have shadowed these men and women for months, working with them into the dreadful halls of government offices, watching from a distance. They are humiliated and taken through horrible experiences, interviewing them in the thick on their anger, and watching their loss of their self-esteem and national pride melt away, which is super very crazy. And they also saying at a fabled Huduma centers, the one-stop government service outlets that were billed as game changers in services delivery, the nation found a broke system that is powered by a well-oiled corruption network. While at one of the more famous public hospitals, our team found neglected patients wasting away in dimly lit corridors and crowded wards. Personally, I've been to Jomo Kenyatta International Hospital when my mom was sick of cancer. And I remember that was the first time and the last time I went there. No, that was the last time. Then the second time I went, I think when one of my uncle was very sick, then I said, I'll never go again. Never, ever, ever go again to see anyone sick there. Like, never. Because let me tell you, you get there, you're not only taking your patient to be cured, but first, like you can hear from this article, the services you get. And I don't know how many of you have received this, especially, right? It is, I think, in every African continent where corruption is the number one thing leading this system, where these people, majority of them got jobs by connections. And this takes us back to what now Nigeria was rejecting and has been highly strict on. Where these fake certificates, we have people getting backdoor certificates and getting jobs just like that. While we have people who have gone 4 years up to studies or 6 years getting their degrees, PhDs and masters, and then you're going to end up having a dropout as a leader or as your doctor. Well, I know so much to do 4 years. It is so sad. When you get there, you expect, of course, when you go to a public hospital or maybe these Huduma centers, which are supposed to get your ID, passports, visa, and all that, you expect good services. But once you get there, the treatment, I wish also one day, I think, Kit, we need to get these glasses that have cameras. There's a lot we can reveal if we really get those glasses. There's a lot hidden. And we can't record like this with phones nowadays because our phones are going to be broken, especially right now. The police officers or people are just so disrespectful seeing media people recording shit with phones and either snatch them or even break them down. It is super, super crazy. But I remember we went there with my mom in the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And when she got there, she was really in pain. She was really, really, really in pain. We waited on a line for 30 minutes. 30 whole minutes before she was told all you need to do is bribe. All they need to do is just tell you, bribe so you can pass. But they wait for whole 30 minutes thinking you're going to get service. Then when you get on, now it's your turn of you getting treatment, they tell you pay $1,000 so you can see the doctor. That is a form of corruption, bribing, for me to get service which you're supposed to provide for free. For free. She paid $1,000. Then we went to the doctor's office. Then I remember on our way to the doctor's office, I can never forget this. We saw a man who was arrested. He had he was handcuffed on his hands and his legs. He had a leg cancer. His leg was really, really looking bad. Like it was really, really bad, but they have chained him still, despite his leg rotting and all that. And this man is screaming and is in pain. But doctors are just walking around. There's nothing they're doing and all that. So this crazily shows, because after us now getting to the doctor's office, again, she had to pay some money for her to get some certain receipts and, of course, get the medication she's supposed to get, not from the hospital, but from outside. From outside, not from the hospital, but outside, which is another expense. You bribed your way to get treatment to the doctor's office. The doctor tells you all we're going to give you is a chemotherapy injection and the rest of the medications that are supposed to ease your pain. We don't have them. But we've already taken 1,000 of you, so you're going to get these medications from outside. That means you're spending more money. It is a crazy, crazy, crazy system, and this needs to be changed. This is why, again, I'm saying we can't tell people, oh, there's nothing that can change. There's nothing. Things need to change. Things need to change. We can't keep on living in this system. Personally, I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing things not working correctly the way they're supposed to. Things need to change. But they go ahead and say, let me read a little bit of it, and then as I get to move on to the major focus of the day, they're saying that at Bima House, where thousands of pensioners, troops, every morning to beg disinterested clerks to release their retirement dues, the nation stumbled upon the depressing experience of men and women who served this country with flair and gallantry, but who now live in penury as fat cats in the pension system lying in their pockets with their money. They're really using heavy language, heavy English, but anyway, I understood that. And this is a system running on the putrid fumes of shame, graft, and humiliating disgrace, which is true. It is a deliberate creation of chaos in order to take advantage of desperate citizens. A vile, crooked, and debased criminal enterprise that is designed to milk, pilfer, and dehumanize people. This is a broken government tearing on the edge of the planned anarchy. And starting today and every Tuesday, the Daily Nation, Nation Africa, and NTV will bring you experience of Kenyan seeking service in the corridors of power. And what the officials we trust to manage our public affairs say about this is sad state of affair, and we will be delighted in our reporting. We will be bold and factual, and we will be relentless as you guys get to come along. That is what is happening. It is super, super crazy to see what people are really, really going through right here when a nation and we have people have been given opportunities. But when they get in the system, they're no longer the same people. It is so, so sad, and it is super, super crazy. Let me tell you, if you go to Jomo Kenyatta, it's really, really a heartbreaking situation. I'd not wish anyone, if they were really sick, to end up there being on it. I'd really not wish anyone like their illness to end up in a point where you have to be admitted in that hospital. It is really, really heartbreaking. Trust me. It is really, really heartbreaking. I think that and seeing children beg on the streets was, at a very young age, that was the most crushing thing that really broke my heart. Seeing children beg on the streets the first time, then now getting to Jomo Kenyatta, those are two incidents that crushed my heart completely. It is super crazy. But I see Keith, you're saying that and also you're saying that it's supposed to be, but in Africa it's about corruption. That is true. And you're saying that yes, Joby, every African country. Exactly. Because I bet if you look at especially the most corrupt countries, I'd count and bet Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africans, of course. We have the black people in poverty. Majority of the South Africa, the black South Africans are under poverty, and they do not get actually good services because most of also the creation of employment has been given much more to the mulattoes, to the white people, and not African people. And this is why you see the system cannot even work. And then the thing of connection and everything, it is super, super crazy. And also, yes, Joby, I know that that will be great. Where do we buy? I'll check online. I think we'll do that research for me and Pavin will do that. Then we can see if we can get them, which can also help maybe the ladies once we have, the meeting that we're gonna be having on Friday to see if it can help them, get what we're literally looking for outside there in terms of engaging with people, because I think those are really, really good classes. I'm personally, if I'm to do outdoor shows, which should be really, really exciting. I don't know if they have memory cards, the classes, you can just maybe record, or how do you go live? I don't know, I'll look for them. I'll look for ones, maybe we can connect and go live. We can get maybe one or two. Yeah, it would be really, really interesting to cover these stories outside instead of reporting them, because I'd love to. It's easy to engage with people when you're having classes on without them noticing what you have and just asking questions and all that and just being natural. It is really, really great. But I also see you're saying that yes, Joby, bribing is now part of the African culture, is in every African country. And it is so, so sad. It is so sad that we've normalized this. It is so sad. Can I remember the first time I ever bribed someone? Let me try remember. I think it starts at school. I think it starts at school because there's why you have to bribe someone to write your notes. You have to bribe someone to do homework for you. You have to bribe someone not to tell on you on to the teacher for coming late or maybe doing some silly shit. I think it starts at school. It starts at school. It's just practiced well starting from school. Because also teachers do take bribes. Because mind you, we have the public schools which are not supposed to be paying school fees and not going for tuitions on Saturdays, but we used to be beaten thoroughly, especially for me because I used to be notorious of not attending Saturdays classes. I really hated class that much in school that much. I didn't like Saturday tuition, so I used to miss them on purpose. I used to miss them on purpose. Like I used to tell my mom we don't have tuitions. Then on Monday I'll go. I'd rather receive the strokes, but I'm not coming to school on weekend. I'm playing with my friends. I'm chilling with my mom. You know, I'd rather do that. So we used to be beaten, and when you go to these tuitions, you have to pay extra amount from just what you paid for school fees. It's not counted in school fees. So this is where part of bribery also comes in, where teachers are also taking bribe because they're not being paid well as well. And now I also see you saying, shout out to Diesel in the building, keep the same because of poverty. Yes, I agree. And Diesel, okay. And Keith also says that yes, it's a broken system throughout Africa. True. And you're saying that most likely you would record with the glasses. Yes, I'd really love it. Trust me. It's going to be something dope. Because me personally, I know of areas that I have stories I can cover where I'm confident, boldly talking to, not like Kibera. I can go to places like Korogosho, Dandora, places where I know I have people I relate with and people who know me and can take me and guide me through, let's say, the slums without me being scared. Yeah. So it will be really something amazing. I'm covering a lot of stories, not just also, promoting any poverty porn, all the good stories, showing people the environment, maybe going to the Kericho tea farm, what we were talking about yesterday, making people see the views. But of course, that will need a camera, will need the phones and all that. It's going to be something beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. But I also see you saying that, damn, that's 100% crazy. I never tried to bribe anyone in my life. Damn. For real? Okay, I know in America, if you try to do it, especially, I don't know about the white people, if they do bribe the police officers, do they? Kindly let me know. Do white people get to bribe the police officers, let's say, if you're over speeding? Because we know the difference of how white people are treated and the black people, how they treated. Let's say both of you are over speeding. A black man is always going to be on the wrong. But I don't know about a white man. Do you end up to bribe and they let you go? And like how they do to black people, getting you arrested, teasing you, and to the point of killing you. No. Okay. All right. Damn. It makes, I don't know, man. It really phases me again. I know it's crazy. I'm always shocked by things sometimes. And by the fact I understand everything right now, it's still a shock. How did they create these systems? As much as, politically they work the same. How they rig the elections, how they don't want to change a few things, especially when it comes to the black community, the black people. It's crazy how they were so able to perfect America and things and laws apply, but it's only in Africa where the laws don't apply. We're so corrupt. I mean, this is just so mind-blowing. I don't know if you guys get, but it's so mind-blowing how they were able to set up these systems working the same politically. But when it came to where the black people are living, it had to be some fucked up shit. Psychopaths, we're talking about it. Psychopaths. But I also see kids saying that they just let them go without a bribe. Damn. Man, not in Africa, my friend. Of course, in Africa, you will not be killed. That's the good part. You will not be tased. That's the good part. You just give someone 50 shillings, they're gone. That's just the good part. But of course, removing that 50 shillings while you're thinking about, should I buy kales? Should I buy ugali flour? It's also something else that pinches us, It is crazy. K. Williams says, wow, $100 American money. $1,000 American money. Did I get the question correctly? What are you asking? Under the article? I don't think I read that under the article. But if you're talking about bribing, I'm not sure what the question is posed on. K. Williams, kindly let me know. And also, so you're saying that so you got fake doctors over there. Yes, so many. Goddamn, so many. I wish I can say my cousin, but my cousin went to school very well. She really studied her ass off so well. Like she really did it. I don't know where she disappeared to. And the last time I checked, she wanted to go to the UK. They both wanted to go to the UK to extend their classes when we had Uhuru Kenyatta telling them to go to the UK to get jobs or rather further their studies and all that. So we have fake doctors. We have fake doctors. And this is why you see most of these doctors, because of a very poor paying system, they end up now creating their own hospitals. Or yeah, they end up actually, despite you working in a national hospital, most of them end up creating some small hospitals, these regional hospitals which are not registered, and which majority of them we have abortion being participated on. Most of the people going to buy drugs like codeine on, because mind you, I've told you guys, codeine is really highly abused in Africa. Is not used as a mode of curement or pain reliever in any sort of mode. I've seen so many young people, youths, using codeine. I didn't even know actually codeine was a drug that is being misused as a drug. That was before. Till very recently, that was in 2022. Because I used to see someone drinking some purple shit. I'm like, what are you always drinking? You know, what is this purple thing? Looks like spirit. So I had codeine. I'm like, okay, all right. Okay, yeah, so it is super, super crazy. We have fake doctors. Of course, there isn't the back door to get the money. The system is not paying them well. It is super messed up, trust me, Kerry. It is really, really crazy. But Africa is beautiful. The people are beautiful. It's just that the system is rigged. The continent is beautiful. The people are beautiful. It's only the people who we have trusted with the nations as our representatives who are failing us. But anyway, moving into the major focus of the day, last but not least of the conversation of the day today on the Pan-African Bliss Show is about where we have more than 20 people who have been killed in Niger, and this is by unknown jihadists, as always. You know, they always say that. And of course, they're saying at least 22 people have been killed in a suspected jihadist attack on Niger village near the border with Mali. And the reports were given by the national media TV, and the local official told the AFP news agency that the attackers arrived in Motagatta village in the Tillaberi region on motorbikes on Sunday and started shooting people. So the question number one again, when it comes to these jihadists who are always unknown, where do they get the motorbikes from? Who gets to buy these people who are broke motorbikes to just go shooting people? Where do they get the guns from? And it's not just guns. They are really, really strong, funded weapons. So where do they come from? And then why is it that right now we're seeing, again, killings, especially after yesterday us seeing Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso withdrawing from Ecowas? Is Tinubu behind all this? Is Tinubu being used as a backdoor to attack these people? I mean, like I said at the beginning of the show, I understand very well Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso still have a hard time in taking full control of these regions that were occupied by these jihadists and terrorists. It's going to take some time. But through the help of Russia, which you can see, through the help of, through the unity that they have formed and coming up with strong military group that is supposed to help them fight this terrorism, it's still going to take time. And where they also need to be careful and watch their back of what Russia is all about. So it's going to take time and all that. But why is this coming after them withdrawing on Sunday from ECOWAS? They're saying it is not clear who are behind the attack. Of course, it's always unclear. And the Niger junta is there to comment about it. But such killings are common in Niger, where jihadist insurgency have risen since 2015. And nearly 40 soldiers were killed last year in separate attacks near the border with Burkina Faso. Military leader who carried out last year's coup justified their actions, citing the poor security situations. In December, the coup leader, General I can't read his name. Tiani, I'll call him Tiani, man. I think Niger's junta has the hardest name. Tiani. General Tiani said the situation was progressively normalizing after he had called the army's multiple success in quelling unrest. And but the attacks have continued, and the French troops have left Niger after being ordered out by the country's military leader. Yes, because there's nothing you've been doing. There's nothing you've done for the people of Nigeria, of Niger, or the Nigerians. There's nothing you've done to the Burkinabe people. There's nothing you've done to the Malians. And this is why we saw Burkina Faso 3 weeks ago withdrawing from that Islamist group that is meant to fight and help them fight these terror attacks. I can't remember the name of the group, but I reported that. Check out the show on previous shows. I reported that. So, and we also saw Mali withdrawing from a lot of groups, and also Niger. We've seen the unity of these three countries and them understanding that this system that is created, which you can see Ruto now talking about, is supposed to be our representative, the African Union. They're not here to help us. And that's why you see these three juntas coming out clearly as the leaders they are, trying to create a democratic country, a true democratic country. And Africa is what they're trying to do. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think about that. That has been my debate of the day. And I want to appreciate everyone who has been with us right here on today's conversation. The name in likes of Keith, in likes of the Dark Tooth that was in the building earlier today. Shout out to 10 Speed, shout out to K. William, shout out to you, Samuel. I see you. Hello to you too. And good morning, good afternoon from my. You're seeing that funny how it's the same story across all run countries, huh? It is super, super crazy. It is all the blocks, the 3 blocks. Let's say the 3 blocks so far. That's the same shit. But I also see kids says on TikTok, yes, Joby, I understand what you are saying. You're trying to say, yeah, it is super, super crazy how they just created these 2 systems and all. The system is created the same politically, but when it comes to how things work, it's crazy. It's crazy when talking about it. I don't want to go deeper because it just takes me to my meditation thinking mode. And also see Keith is saying that women should record them. Women should record them. They got fired because it embraces the country. True. And also see Keith is saying exactly % Joby, true. And that's why they are leaving the African Union as well. Exactly. Because it's not there to help. As much as we're having this Ruto telling us, oh, you know, we need that they should have happened. What you need to do, as you say, you are a man, act like a man. Don't act like a baby on a diaper. That is my closing remarks. Much love, family. See you guys later tonight on the Culture Show, but we shall be coming back later on the Black Kings frequency with Kamlesh, Chachar, and I. And of course, catch up with our amazing conversations. Always us keeping you entertained. And of course, giving our different thoughts and perspectives regarding what we shall be talking about. Kwaherini from now. And of course, have an amazing rest part of your day. Shout out to Freedom Media. Thank you so much for tuning in. But you came in late, baby girl. But remember, you can always catch the shows on our YouTube channel under the Black Hot Fire Network. So from now to you guys, peace. Let me hold your hand. Thank you, K. Williams, for being right here with me on today's conversation. Take care as well. And of course, have an amazing, beautiful day and a peaceful day at work. Shout out to you also, Samuel, and to everyone who's at work listening. Asanteni sana.